I would definitely recommend that. I should actually do that. Do as I say, not as I do. So I've been following Yam Albat, previously known as Yam Kamori, on Twitter. And not only does she put out really good video essays about VTubers that you guys should really check out. I've covered at least one of her videos before, but I'll be linking her in the description, her Twitter and YouTube. Seriously, check her out. She puts out a lot of VTuber tips, and one recently caught my eye. Specifically, the VTuber debuts are absolute bungus. She goes into pretty good detail about her thoughts on it, and as you can see, I basically agree across the board with her. So I'm going to go through it a little bit and then also give my thoughts as I go through. But to start, I have done a sort of debut before, and I'm going to be real, it didn't really do much aside from it did boost a bit of views of the debut. And even my undebut that I did last weekend did see an increase of, well, traffic, but that's because it was like a event, so to speak, or it appeared as one. There is that culture of you gotta, you gotta have everything ready for your debut, but in all honesty, it doesn't make a big difference. Maybe if you have that as your YouTube intro video, that would be a good spot to have your debut video, so to speak. But like those that keep it specifically to live streams tend to really not capitalize on that content because it's only available when you're watching the live stream, or you might get lucky and they can upload a VOD. Hey, Digital Vibes, how you doing? But anyways, let's go over Yam's reasoning. Reason number one, maybe you don't want to blow up right now. Delayed slow growth is much healthier than instant blowing up on your very first stream. Debut culture makes you think you need to have everything together before you even start streaming, and that just isn't the case. Streaming/making videos is a menagerie of skills that you need to hone over time. Your first pieces of content are going to be an absolute mess of technical problems, bad audio, and silence. I highly recommend starting to make content now so you can build skill. There is no real arguments against it. She's just right here. Because like when you blow up right away, yes, that is great success, but you don't necessarily have the skills to keep that wide of a viewer base engaged with your content. It's something that you really want to practice and master over time. That's what I've been doing. I haven't really blown up, so to speak, but I have been consistently growing. I've been at the YouTube grind for what, a few months now, with I'll admit a few breaks. But I consistently see the growth from my content. I regularly see new comments or new names in comments, new names in chat even. Glad to have y'all here. I have seen the effects of like some VTubers getting like massive success and then are unable, like specifically on Twitter. I know there was this Goblin VTuber that I helped boost up to When I first saw her on Twitter, she was at like 100 followers, and then I called in a bunch of V supporters on her announcement tweet, and then that just kind of blew up. And then she, last I checked, she was around like 4,000. Hey, Hogan Fish Hands. I think I know who you are. But then she had a lot of trouble taking those 4,000 and then shifting them over to her streams. And it's just been a bit of a struggle for her. I mean, that's kind of what happens when you're trying to bring people across platforms. You just can't bring the majority of people. It's only going to be excuse me. It's just going to be a small percentage of who get interested in your other platform to check out, hey, what else do you have? Reason 2, excuse me, don't invest in a model yet, please. I know you want to be pretty, I know you want to look like HoloLive immediately, but it's a bad idea. Character concepts don't always stick, and you can realize that content creation just isn't for you. Like, that is very true. I know a lot of people that just, or I know a couple of people that have kind of jumped into the I want to have a live 2D, and it's like, you really want to stream first before you actually commission that model. Figure out what you want to make. What kind of content do you want to put out there? Do you want to put out just chatting videos? Do you want to put out gameplay stuff? Do you want to put out drawing content? VTubing is just a medium, not a genre. As a VTuber model designer, I can tell you that out of the 8 VTubers I have designed / illustrated for, only 3 are currently active. That's including myself. Sometimes things just don't work out like you predicted in the beginning. Save your money and your artist's time and effort. Like 3 out of 8 that she's worked on is still currently active. That's unfortunately a big waste of her time, it seems, because like she puts out a fair amount of high quality content as well as working on VTuber models. And is it really a fair use of her time if you're not going to continue to use that model? Not to mention, it's also extremely hard to actually sell off a design to somebody else. You will not get anywhere near the value back if you sell your design to somebody new. I've honestly noticed a pattern. VTubers who start as a PNG / Vroid end up staying in this thing for the long run. Those who invest a ton in their models immediately tend to burn bright and quick, but then burn out. Keep that in mind. That is, yeah, I can see that. People get hung up on the glory of becoming like a full-time content creator. They want to jump straight into it. They don't even know if they can really keep up with content creation, as well as withstand the criticisms that you will receive over time. The bigger you get, the louder the criticisms become. And for a lot of people, they can't really take that pushback. I've seen quite a few small VTubers burn out because of pushback, harassment, that kind of stuff. But you got to realize that is part of being a public figure. And even if we're using anime characters as our medium to do that, we're still people. We still get affected by what people say. Reason 3. Traditional debuts are boring. Hot take, unless it's something big like a HoloLive debut, I just don't watch debuts. I find streams where the creator is relaxed and doing things they enjoy to be much more interesting than a PowerPoint about their likes and dislikes. I'm gonna have to agree with that one. Like, I think my undebut went a lot better than my actual debut personally. I believe that all of the famous aspects of a debut, character bio, lore, likes and dislikes, goals, would be better served on a personal website or wiki page rather than a stream, or in your YouTube intro video if you're a YouTuber. I would definitely recommend that. I should actually do that. Do as I say, not as I do. Unless you're going to incorporate this stuff into your regular content, it doesn't make sense to focus on it as your very first stream or video. Very true. How are you going to... It's really, really hard to actually generate eyes that'll stick around if it's just a about me kind of thing. You want to draw people in with other topics, and then it's your personality and how you convey your content that keeps them around. Of course, you can do a debut if you want. I'm not saying you can't. I just want to take the pressure off of young VTubers who believe they need to make their very first stream this huge celebration where everything looks neat and tidy like the agencies do. Instead of a fancy debut, I would say get a low-cost or free avatar that represents you, learn OBS, and make the content you want to make. And congrats, you've started as a VTuber. She makes a lot of good points there, and obviously I agree with a lot of them. In fact, I don't think of anything I disagree with this thread here. I would like to add that yeah, you don't need to do the debut. You can just get started. I love Yams tip threads. Oh yeah, she has such good advice out there. You really want to check out that hashtag Yams VTuber tips on Twitter. But if you do want to do a debut, I would recommend having it somewhere where it's going to be around 24/7, like a YouTube video where it's get to know me kind of thing. Those can help for new people trying to, or that stumble across your other content and then they want to get to know more about you. A debut can boost that initial interest, but again, it's got to be you that keeps them coming back. Not just your likes and dislikes, but like how you actually convey yourself, the thoughts you put out into the ether. Because even if you don't really think much of the thoughts off the top of your head, people like to listen. That's why people tune in. Is it not? Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Remember, if you can't be the sharpest tool in the shed, you can always be the hoe.